Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is signaling that he won't go quietly after opposition leaders came together to form a new government. Netanyahu lashed out at his opponents on Twitter, urging right-wing members of parliament to, quote, oppose this dangerous leftist government. Lawmakers will vote on the coalition of 8 parties in the next few weeks. NBC News foreign correspondent Kelly Cobiella joins us now. She is in Tel Aviv this morning. Now, Kelly, good morning. This coalition is fragile, but how much power does Netanyahu have to try to stop it here?
Well, he has a couple of tools that he can use, and really we're talking about more influence rather than any sort of outright action he can take. First of all, he is head of the party that got the most votes in this election. He won about 24% of the vote. Doesn't sound like a lot, but in a country with so many parties, that actually is the largest party. So his party still controls the Knesset. They control the speaker position, and the speaker is the guy who sets the date for this vote. So one of the things that Netanyahu can do is to just delay the vote, the coalition vote that we've talked about so many times now. The other thing he can do, when you take a look at the list of the parties in this coalition, there's, of course, the centrist party, which led forming this coalition, center-left party, a left party, the Arab party, and then you have 4 parties that are basically led by former allies of Netanyahu. They're either center-right or right-leaning or very far right. And these are the lawmakers that Netanyahu and his allies are really going after. They're trying to pick off just one or maybe just 2, convince them not to vote for this coalition when the vote comes up. And they're doing that, as you mentioned, through tweets and also having their supporters, in some cases, show up at lawmakers' houses and protest them. Savannah?
So now, under this deal, right-wing nationalist Naftali Bennett would become prime minister for the first 2 years. But he's teaming up with parties with majorly different views. In fact, the plan is he'll even hand off the prime minister role to somebody with a totally different view after those 2 years. I mean, what do his supporters think about that fact?
Well, I mean, he's had to defend his position. In fact, he was on Israeli TV last night giving the first interview since this coalition was formed because he's getting pushback from some of his voters. And he said a few things. He said he, first of all, tried to bolster his security cred and his all of the things that he said when he was trying to get elected, sort of his campaign platform. He talked about how there would be no freeze on settlement building in the West Bank. That's a big thing for his supporters. He said that there would be no bowing to U.S. pressure on that if the Biden administration tries to force him into doing something like that. And he also said he wouldn't hesitate to ask for military or order military action in Gaza or in Lebanon should it come to that. So really just trying to bolster his point of view, telling his supporters, hey, I'm still your guy and I'll do what I can for you in government.
Kelly Cobiella covering history for us there in Israel. Thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.